Hi, it's Scott Kaplan from In Life Wellness here, and the purpose of this video is to explain the process of the new studio launch, marketing and sales process. So launch means, we're launching a new studio for a 3-month period, or 14 weeks to be precise, 14 weeks before the studio opening date. We do a marketing and sales campaign. So again, marketing and sales, two different things. Marketing generates what we call leads. A lead is somebody who inquires, and when they inquire, we get their name, phone number and email address. And from there, we contact these people and offer them our foundation membership special. So this process, this time period is really critical. You want to open your studio with a healthy amount of members. We aim for opening with 150 members or more. So if you've got 150 members, spending about $50 a week, that's $7,500. That's going to enable you to open up your studio cash flow positive. Back in the olden days, I've been doing this work since before internet marketing, which is scary, before Facebook. We never opened up with members. We used to open up with 0 members. Another option, by the way, is to open up with not this offer, but open up by selling trials. And imagine that you open a studio and you sold 200 trials. Everyone pays, something like $29 for a trial. And then they all come to the studio and it's your job to try and convert them to a membership. That is hard work and the conversion percentage is not as high. So we much prefer to go in with this offer, which is basically a 15% lifetime discount. Don't worry about the discount. Financially, it works very well for the studio. And it really almost amuses me how well this works. Any great marketing offer has a series of different elements. One is an element of scarcity. So we'll say only 100 available, although we probably will sell more than 100. A great offer has a discount. A great offer has something that's free. That's where our gift bag comes in. And a great offer is only available for a limited time. And this offer genuinely does end when the studio opens. So those elements make the offer very powerful and compelling. And the other part of it is there's a certain element of prestige with a member being one of the first people into a new studio. And these foundation members, also known as founding members, most of these are going to be here with you in another 2 or 3 years. So again, they get a bit rusted on and they become part of the furniture. So we use a company to handle our marketing, and in the 14-week period prior to opening, you're going to generate anywhere between 500 and 1,000 leads. So that's a lot of leads. Our aim is to convert 25% of those leads into a founding membership. So, do the maths, 800 leads, 25%, that's 200 members. That's a really great place to open with. I've got more to say, especially in that first month after opening. It's a really crucial time to look after these members. But what I really want to dive into is the sales process. So over the years, there's been a number of options. There are third-party companies who do boutique fitness membership sales. So you can engage a company to do the sales for you. And many of these companies are good. Sometimes fitness sales is a bit what I call cowboyish, where they're kind of just trying to sign people up in any way they can, often unethically. We don't do that. We sell. Well, firstly, we don't sell. We just help. And we help with integrity. Okay, you know what? We'd rather somebody not join up than sign them up the wrong way. We're not just here to get people's credit card numbers and then charge them. That just leads to a whole bunch of issues down the track, refunds and things that are bad for your credibility. But again, back to the sales process. A lot of these third-party sales companies, they can be affordable. And one of the reasons they're affordable is because they take a lot of their work offshore. Other companies are expensive and they're still good. Other companies work on high commission, no base. Other companies work on, a high base and no commission. Long story short, over the years, we've had owners try and do the sales themselves. We've engaged various companies with some good results and also some mixed results. And all of this has led us to develop our own internal sales team In Life Wellness HQ and implement what we call a business development manager role. So we think nothing's going to be better than having the process internal, with an internal person who is an in-life wellness person who has an intimate understanding of what we offer. That's how you're going to get the best results from your sales. Now, to do these sales, somebody needs the time, and you need the knowledge, and you need the desire. That means, you got to want to do it. Do you have the knowledge to do it? Sales is what's the word? It's a process that requires training. It's specific to every industry. And there are certain ways in the fitness industry that we build rapport, certain questions that we ask to elicit certain responses. And there's a way to go through this sales process. Now, it's a huge process of follow-up. Again, just imagine you get 600 leads. That's a lot of phone calls. Half of those people are going to answer the phone. Half won't answer the phone. With the people that answer the phone, half of them are going to say, thank you for calling, but can you call me back another time? Which you're going to try and do, or someone's going to try and do, and hope they answer the phone then. Then there's backup systems, email, SMS. There's a huge hands-on manual in-person sales process. And there's also a very, exhaustive, a very thorough automated sales process that's working away in the background every week in the lead up to opening. So I think one of my biggest fears in business and sales in particular, or even on an ongoing basis, is people and things slipping through the cracks. So again, imagine that every week you're getting 70 people inquire about your new studio. Imagine half of those people don't get contacted on the first 3 attempts. They can often be forgotten about. And this is one of the things we've found with some of the companies we've used in the past. We want to make sure nobody gets forgotten about. The contact is always there. There's so much follow-up, so we can really maximize this period. You're going to be spending money with the marketing agency. You're going to be spending money with the online ads. That money goes to Facebook and Instagram. Facebook own Instagram. And there's a amount of money that you'll pay to head office for the sales team. So we want to maximize the return on that investment. Speaking of that, I'll put myself on the spot here. Imagine that you spend $30,000 in marketing before you open, and that includes all those things that I've mentioned. That's a lot of money. Saving money on marketing is not really saving money. Marketing is an investment. It's not an expense, but it's only an investment if the return is there. And again, if you can imagine, we've done this across 50, 60 studios over the last 5 years. We've really narrowed it down. Sometimes I feel bad for those early studios that opened up with no members, but I don't feel so bad now because they're all going great. Back to the return on the investment, 30 grand investment. Imagine you open with 200 members paying $50 a week each. 200 times 50 is 10 grand. That's 500 grand a year. Okay. So that's where the 30 grand starts to make sense. There's no point opening your studio early. Okay. We push the opening date back about as far as we can. And there's no point trying to cut corners or minimize your marketing and sales investment. I call marketing the lifeblood of any business. You're opening a studio and you are trying to get members to join up to a place they've never been to and possibly never heard of. How do you do that? Well, we know how to do it. Okay. So please follow the playbook. I'm not a dictator, but I know what to do and I care about your opening result. Every now and then we get people saying, it's okay, I'll do it my way. And I'm like, oh my gosh, please don't. If I was going to go and open a car dealership, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't say, oh, don't worry, I got this. If I was going to open a restaurant, I wouldn't be saying to my mentor, it's cool, I don't need your advice. I think I can just buy some food and knock it up in the kitchen. It doesn't work like that. There is no room for error in the pre-opening marketing and sales process. It's a real specific formula and it's got to be followed to the letter. What are the benefits of opening your studio with a healthy amount of members? Well, you're going to open up and you're going to have full classes. That builds credibility. It builds social proof. Social proof, when you walk past 2 restaurants and one's full and one's not, which one do you want to go to? Which one do you think's better? Social proof, credibility. Your studio needs energy. When there's full classes, there's energy. Energy results in referrals. If people are in there and they're loving it, they're going to refer their friends. And of course, opening up with a healthy amount of members really results in a strong opening revenue. So plenty of plenty of, info to think about there, but, don't think too hard. Just know this is a process that we take really seriously, and we want you opening up with the best result possible. Thank you.